Hello, my name is Brad Zuniga, and I'm from Butte College, which is located in Northern California. I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about the California education system and also about community colleges. Community college is where I work. Again, Butte College is located in Northern California, and with that, let's get started. So, I have some information here on the screen that will hopefully make this presentation a little bit easier for us. But we'll talk again about education in California. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about the United States. So the United States has a huge higher education system, over 4,000 schools to choose from. That's a lot of choices. So the United States has many, many choices, a lot more than most people think. Over 20 million students are enrolled in higher education institutions in the United States. That's a lot of students. Over 2 million degrees are awarded from those institutions each year. So lots and lots of degrees go out. Each state, California is one of the states. There's 50 states in the United States. Each state is responsible for administering their education. So there isn't necessarily a federal institution that oversees education like there is in many countries, like say Brazil. Education is typically one of the largest items for the state in their budget. So I think that's one of the reasons why many people from around the world want to come to the United States, is because a lot of money is invested in education in the United States. So there's three types of institutions that you can choose from. Those institutions are the following. First, we have community colleges. Community colleges they're very unique. In the United States, it's very common, and many people study at community colleges. Other parts of the world, not so common. Over 1,000 different campuses with 6 million students at community colleges. Public universities, over 630 campuses, again, over 6 million students. And then we have private universities as well. Lots of private universities, 3,000 campuses, 4 million students. One thing that is unique about the United States that's different than, say, Brazil, is that public universities and private universities, neither is free. Both students have to pay to attend. Where in many countries like Brazil, a public university is often free. So it's not the case in the United States. All three of these are overseen by each of the states or by the government, but none of them are free. All have to be paid for by students. So the types of degrees that you can get in the United States. There's typically 5 types of degrees. The first are associate degrees, then you have bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, professional degrees, which include law and medicine, and then finally PhDs or the doctorate degree. I like to tell students that if you imagine a staircase, each step is a higher degree. So the associate is the first, goes all the way up to the doctorate degree. So, California. Let's talk about the state of California. Again, that's where I'm from. We have 3 main types of universities or institutions that students can choose from. The first are UCs, second are CSUs, and then finally community colleges like where I work. So let's talk about the UCs. There's 10 different campuses. These include some really famous, well-known universities like UC Berkeley, UCLA, very well known around the world. The top 12% of our high school graduates in the United States are eligible to attend the UCs. So they're very competitive. It's very difficult to get into the UCs because they're so popular. They have over 200,000 students, and they award bachelor's, master's, professional degrees, and doctorate degrees. The following shows where all those UCs are. You can see they're spread out all over California. Again, UCLA, UC San Diego, UC Davis, which is the closest campus to where I'm located. Lots of great institutions. The next one, CSUs, that stands for California State Universities. So there's 23 different CSU campuses. They're all part of that same system, the CSU system. Top 25% of high school graduates are eligible for the CSUs, and they have over 400,000 students at these CSUs. Again, lots of students. They award bachelor's and master's. Notice that you can't do a doctorate degree or a professional degree at a CSU. Here's a map of where all those CSUs are. You can see all 23 are here on the map. Chico State is the closest one to where I'm located. That's also where I graduated. Go Chico State. All right. So the third system, California community colleges. This is probably the part where a lot of people get confused, and hopefully I do a good job of helping you understand what a community college is. So the first community college was established in 1901. It's a long time ago, and it was established in the state of Illinois. Not California, it's a different state. California now has 112 community colleges. 112, that's a lot. It's actually the biggest education system in the world with over 2.5 million students. It's huge, big education system. We have what's called an open admission policy. Again, that's something that creates a little bit of confusion, and I'll explain that in just a second. We award what are called associate degrees. That's one step above a high school diploma, but one step below a bachelor's degree. So it's kind of in between those two. Here's a map of all 112 community colleges. I'm going to go through all 112, so just bear with me. That was a joke. I'm not going to go through all 112. You can see there's lots of schools here. Notice even down in Southern California, we have to pull the map out just to show all of the community colleges. 112. That's a lot of schools to choose from. Almost anywhere you go in California, you're going to find a community college. Butte College, that's where I'm located. Alright, so, little quiz. How many colleges are in the United States? That's right. I'm pointing at nobody, so that's right, 4,000. Good guess. If you got it on the camera, good job. 4,000. So, why would someone choose a community college? Why would someone choose a school like Butte College? Lots of choices. So what makes community colleges like Butte unique? So there's two reasons. We have the cost, and then you can start your bachelor's. Let's talk about the cost. So attending a community college is going to allow a student to save quite a bit of money. We have a couple different institutions. We have a private school like Stanford, UC Berkeley, CSU Chico, and then over there on the right we have a community college, which in this case is Butte College. The top figures here are for 1 year of education. That includes tuition, books, food, cost of living, everything. The top line is US dollars. The bottom is Brazilian currency. So I have both figures here. So for 1 year at Butte College, it's $17,000 for everything. So you can see from some of the other institutions, it's a great way to save some money. That's why many students, not only international students, but also American students, will start at a community college. So starting your bachelor's degree, this is the most common degree in the United States, the most popular degree. A bachelor's degree looks a little bit like this. This huge part here is your major, psychology, business, you choose your major. Almost half of it is going to be your major. Another big part is going to be general education. It's part of the degree. Everybody does general education. This is typically done the first 2 years. This is done year 3 and year 4. So the last 2 years is major, first 2, general education. General education is what a student will complete when they come to a community college. So when they get to the university, they only take their major classes. It's a little confusing, but that's essentially how the process works. So this here shows all the different ways that students can start their education. You have your freshman year, sophomore year, junior, and senior year. You can see where they're completed is here. Community college, CSU, UC, or private. Those first 2 years can be done at any of these schools. But the last 2 years, junior and senior, are only done at the universities. So students who started at community college do those first 2 years, then they transfer to the universities, do year 3 and year 4. All of the classes go with the student, the grades go with the student. The student doesn't start over at the university. They start as a junior. So, stick with me, hopefully that makes sense. Alright, so how many students in the United States transfer, meaning started at community college and then transfer to university? Actually, it's a lot. The United States, the overall population, all of the students who went to universities, 45% started at a community college before they graduated from the university. So almost half. California is extremely high. 66% of the students who graduate from a university started at a community college. So before they finished at the university, they went to the community college first. 66%. Part of the reason, 112 community colleges in California, there's lots of choices, they're very accessible, so lots of students will start at a community college before they go to the university. So a little bit about BU College. Again, we're in Northern California. We have 150 international students from more than 30 countries. The colored areas here show where our students are from. So lots of different countries. Once our students get to BU College, they do their first 2 years, international students. They'll do their first 2 years and then they transfer to all kinds of universities across the United States. All of these dots are universities that our international students have transferred to. Some really well-known universities, UC Berkeley, UCLA, Indiana University. A lot of our students will stay in California, but many students also go to other states as well. So, how many community colleges are in California? That's right, 112. Good job, 112. If you guessed right, good job, 112. All right, so with that, let's talk a little bit about how you apply to a community college. I'm going to skip over some of this information here because it takes a while. So give me 1 second and I'll skip forward. Alright, so I just skipped over all my best jokes, so sorry. Alright, so how do you apply to a community college? The process is pretty simple. Again, we have what's called an open admission policy. So local students, international students, American students, they have a similar process in that we don't require SAT scores or any other exam. What we look for is that a student has finished high school. We don't look at the grades or the GPA or SAT scores or anything like that. So it's an open admission policy. For international students, our application is free. They download it from our webpage. And this process is going to be similar for just about all of the community colleges. So it's not specific just to BU College, but definitely make sure you look at each institution because sometimes there are some small differences. So for us at BU College, download the application. It's free to complete, doesn't require any money. Then a student will send in what's called a financial statement, and that shows that they have enough money or resources to pay for 1 year of school. And if you remember, 1 year at BU happens to be $17,000, so that's what our financial statement requires. Again, that you have enough for 1 year. English proficiency, we require the TOEFL exam. We also use IELTS, but TOEFL is one of the more popular ones. TOEFL, we require a 45 IBT or a 133 CBT. We also require a negative tuberculosis scan. We don't want somebody to bring tuberculosis into the United States, so we require a negative tuberculosis, and that's pretty common at most universities. Once all of this is turned in, we then will accept the student. We then send a government form. It's called an I-20, and that's what most universities and colleges are going to send you if you're applying for a student visa. The I-20 is proof that you've been accepted to a school. You pay the CBIS fee. This is a government security fee that all students have to pay to the United States. You take your I-20, the receipt from your CBIS fee, which you pay online, and you schedule a visa interview at your local consulate or embassy office for the United States. And then you'll go for your student visa. And you'll have a short visa interview, and if you're accepted, they'll let you know right then and there that you got your student visa. For BU College, we then require our students to come to campus about 2 weeks before school starts for a real intensive hands-on orientation where we help you get ready for the semester. It takes about a week long, and we show you the campus and the community and help you get registered for your classes. Most colleges are going to have something similar to that. So that's the process of how you apply to a community college. I went really fast, so I'm sure there might be some questions. If you have more questions, please visit our webpage. It's www.butte.edu/international. We have lots more information. Contact information can also be located there. So hopefully this helped answer some questions and made the community college system a little less confusing. So again, thank you for your time, and my name is Zuniga. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.